Oh man. Pretty revealing, but not that surprising. Frankly, we have the executive director of the Justice Democrats going on CNN, Jake Tapper, Tepper Jake, and standing for Neera fucking Tanden to be Joe Biden's director of, was it Office of Management and Budget? And the executive director of Justice Democrats is standing for Neera Tanden to get this fucking position. I mean, Jesus
Joe
Christ.
Manchin of West Virginia just announced that he will vote against President Biden's pick to lead the Office of Management and Budget, Neera Tanden, putting her nomination in jeopardy. Manchin saying in a statement, in part, quote, I have carefully reviewed Neera Tanden's public statements and tweets that were personally directed towards my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, from Senator Bernie Sanders to Senator Mitch McConnell and others. I believe her overtly partisan statements will have a toxic and detrimental impact on the important working relationship between members of Congress and the next director of the Office of Management and Budget. Let's bring in our panel. Alexandra Rojas, this would be Biden's first defeat.
It's executive director of Justice Dems.
A defeat for Neera Tanden personally because of a bunch of tweets she's done that were rather harsh.
Yeah, and I mean, there's public record of those tweets, but the reality is, I think that Joe Manchin is the one being divisive right now. We are in the middle of a public pandemic. Joe Biden was just elected by a huge mandate by the American people. We have to deliver as Democrats, and we need people in positions of power who are ready and prepared to go big in this moment.
Don't
And
need
not
Neera
leave anyone
Tanden.
behind. The mentality has got to be the Democratic Party, especially, but any elected official, that we have to move quickly to save as many lives as possible.
And
I
Neera
would also
Tanden
point
is
out
not going to
that
help with
we
that.
had no problem voting to confirm other appointments of clearly
Oh my
partisan
god,
members
dude.
when it was the previous Republican administration.
I mean, yes, Joe Manchin is a horrible piece of shit, right wing, reactionary senator himself, but the executive director of the Justice Democrats standing for Neera Tanden like she is some champion of the working people. Get the fuck out of here. That is ridiculous.
Should
Christ.
be no, I think, opposition to some, folks that are being proposed by the Biden administration who have, clearly are ready to do the work and are ready to get.
Yeah, the work that Neera Tanden would do would just be to screw over the working class even more in the U.S., which is obviously struggling mightily right now. And just for reference, just a couple of the horrible things that Neera Tanden has supported: bomb Libya and take the oil. Biden budget chief Neera Tanden agreed with Trump. Yes. Yes, that's really going to be helping out the working class of the U.S., executive director of the Justice Dems. I mean, Jesus Christ. This is. So that's what Trump said. Unless we take the oil from Libya, I have no interest in Libya. Then let's. Here we go. We have a giant deficit. They have a lot of oil. Tandon wrote in an October 2011 email, should Libya pay us back? No, we shouldn't have been in Libya in the fucking first place. Obviously, it was one of the most highly prosperous countries on the African continent until this illegal, disgusting war, and it's actually brought in slavery back to the country because of this U.S.-backed intervention. And that was Faiz Shakir, who was Bernie's, I believe, campaign manager, right? Yeah, so there you go. Again, this is just one disgusting example of how horrible Neera Tanden is. Here's another. Supported cutting to so-called entitlement programs, so Social Security and Medicare. Let's take a listen.
With these governors. And I think that there's other, there are progressive governors like O'Malley and Cuomo who've taken a much more balanced approach on budgets, where they've looked at taxes as well as reforming programs and cutting programs. And so I think that's the approach the American people are supporting.
There's a viewer here who wants you to take us deeper into entitlements by Twitter. Ms. Tanden, do you know what the president means when he says entitlements are on the table? Any specifics?
So again, Obama was totally in support of cutting these programs as well. The reason it didn't happen is because he wasn't willing to go as far as Republicans wanted him to.
Yeah, I mean, so there are a range of entitlements that, I think when we're talking about entitlements, we're talking about Medicare, Social Security, Medicaid. These are programs that
should not be cut at all, but actually expanded and increased. A really easy way to do that would be to reinstate higher tax rates on the very wealthy people at the top, the capitalists, the one percenters.
People receive support because of the status that they have. So when after 65, you get funding from Social Security and Medicare. Actually, it's getting older for Social Security, but
which it doesn't, shouldn't be, obviously.
$300 billion in his budget in cuts in Medicare.
There you go.
That comes on top of cuts in Medicare from the Affordable Care Act. So he's put specific cuts in the budget already in Medicare, and they had savings in Medicaid in the past. I think the question really is, if we're going to have a deal to address long-term deficit reduction.
No, there shouldn't be any question. There shouldn't be any deal. And the whole fucking notion that you need to balance the budget by cutting entitlement programs is complete bullshit. The budget, the deficit doesn't matter unless you're experiencing some type of massive exponential inflation. We weren't then. It's from 2010, I believe. We aren't now. If you really wanted to balance the budget, stop giving massive tax cuts to the rich, to the corporations. Stop getting in these endless wars that cost trillions of fucking dollars.
We need to put both entitlements on the table as well as taxes.
Yes, put taxes on the table. Let's lower taxes for low income, poor folks, middle class, and raise them on people at the top, people who can afford it, people who have gotten their wealth and income by exploiting the labor and the environment. I mean, Jesus, this is who the executive director of Justice Democrats was standing on fucking CNN. Neera Tanden. They have oil. We have deficits. They have oil. Let's cut entitlements. That's Neera fucking Tanden, and that's who is it?
He was directed towards my mental impact.
Alexandra Rojas. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, Justice Democrats, like, I don't know, they're Christ. Like, speechless, standing for fucking Neera Tanden. I mean, Jesus Christ, could it get any more disgusting? But again, not that surprising coming from the Justice Democrats. Leave your thoughts down below. Like the video if you like the damn video. Subscribe for more content. Peace. Much love. All power to the people.